ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on What the Hell, we're going to go over our bi-weekly news article because, yes, we all have lives and jobs, so we can't do it's very hard to do the third episode.
I have a job. I don't know if I have a life, but I do have a job.
I have a job that pretty much takes over my life, too. So. Not as bad as a lot of people. I mean,
it could be worse. That's true.
Yeah, it could be worse. We could be like hurting really bad because we can't get a lot of the episodes done, but we get the episodes done. We do the entertainment, try to make ourselves popular. Not working, but you know.
I'm extremely popular, like within the demographic of my apartment. Super popular. I'm trending in the low 60s.
Dude, every morning, one of the fans, just claps for me, tells me I'm doing a good job and everything like that.
And then you wake up.
No, then I go out of the bathroom and I get away from the mirror. So,
yeah,
I did that whole old SNL bit. You're good enough. You're great enough. People like you.
That was I don't know, it was Al Franken, but I can't remember the character. Who was the character name? It was oh, that's gonna kill me. That's gonna bug the hell out of me.
Yeah, but it's funny because they had Michael Jordan on there one time. It's like
Stuart Smalley. That's who it was.
Stuart Smalley, yeah.
Good enough. You're smart enough, and doggone it, people like
you. You know, we're gonna get totally off topic. They had these they had things on SNL for a while. It's like it was like a thought thing.
Yeah, it was Jack Handy's Deep Thoughts.
Jack Handy's Deep Thoughts. The best one of those.
Gold.
Best one of those was he was talking about, I told my cousin, or I told my nephew, well, I'm going to take him to Disneyland or Disney World. And when we drove for a while, and then I drove at this abandoned, burnt out barn and told him, oh my God, Disney World burnt down. He started crying really heavily. And then we went to Disney World.
Best vacation ever.
Best vacation
ever. Oh, that's some shit I would absolutely do. 100%.
I need to put a done on that one. I've done something really old. There's a reason why my daughter's in therapy right now. Told her to suck it up, but she's like, I need therapy.
Yeah.
But anyways, first agenda on this bi-weekly, and I should have done this the last time, but I forgot. Pinkertons are in the. Well, we were gonna go off on the Pinkertons and everything, but then we
oh, damn Pinkertons, Arthur.
Yeah. Then we read the article, And just to let everybody know, Pinkertons has been around since like 1850s, I think.
Let's preface this by saying that we are not condoning any past activities by the Pinkerton Detective Agency in any way, shape, or form. I
Yeah.
feel that needs a disclaimer because they have done some heinous shit with
Oh,
strike breaking in Chicago and shit like that. Like they are not good people
oh God, they're not.
historically. I don't, they may have calmed
mean,
down quite a bit now, but historically, not the best reputation.
They are so bad. The U.S. government is not allowed to use them for anything.
Yeah.
If you're a part of the U.S. government, even if you're like a congressman and you need some like detective work done, you are not allowed to use the Pinkertons because you're in government office.
Yeah.
That's how bad they are, or they were. And the Pinkertons,
Historically,
yeah, historically,
they may be really good people right now. I don't know. I don't have a lot of dealings with the Pinkertons.
no one does. I mean, you don't hear anything from
Well, there
them.
was one dude that.
Yes, we have one dude so far. And what had happened? This gets in our nerd stuff because we're nerds. But what had happened is Hasbro. We'll go with Hasbro because that's the actual parent company. Had accidentally released two boxes, and they actually released extra boxes.
It was 22 boxes, but
Yeah, 22 boxes. But this guy got clout because the Pinkertons went to his house to collect these boxes. Now, these boxes were pushed out early than because the whole set didn't come out until like I think last week.
It was. I think the release date was May 12th. I believe was the that was the newest Magic the Gathering
Set, yeah. And
so we say Hasbro as a parent company. It was specifically Wizards of the Coast.
yeah,
that
Wizard of the Coast own but Hasbro owns
is owned by Hasbro. Yeah,
which we can go on what Hasbro is doing as because they're being assholes.
Hasbro made Battleship the movie, and for that alone, they deserve all the bad things coming their way.
No, because I forgot to talk about what they're doing in D&D too.
That's true, but I also feel like we need to, if we're going to talk about all the bad things that Hasbro has done, the movie Battleship cannot be far down that list. It's got to be up there. It has to be part of the conversation
We'll
because
put that number 3. We'll put
number 3.
Yeah. Number 1 was the whole
Number
bull.
1 and number 2 have to be really bad then, because have you seen that movie?
I put it on every once in a while, and I actually somewhat like it.
The only good part of that movie. Well, I take it back. There were 2 good parts. There was the his name escapes me again. I'm so bad with names. But the army dude, the W amputee that was playing the veteran. Yeah, watching him go ham bone on those aliens was fucking amazing. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. That's the only reason why I watch it half the time.
That was great. And the second one was just watching the old timers get the Missouri up to speed. Okay, that was cool.
Dude,
when AC/DC playing in the background, like you can't go wrong with that.
Dude, I'm telling you,
just gonna gloss over the whole thing that they got ammo and fuel in a museum ship, which is never ever going to happen. But we're just glossing over that.
Dude, you get goosebumps and a hard on when you see that shit.
Listen, as true as that is, we're still glossing over the fact that it's horrendously never ever going to happen.
It was a horrible movie.
It was god awful. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was a horrible movie. But not talking about that. As the thing they did with D&D, they were trying to get out of the because they were trying to set everything up to where like the YouTubers like Crit Roll.
Yes.
They were trying to get Crit Roll to pay them 75% of their profits because they were using D&D, they were using Dungeons and Dragons as a
I mean, their whole platform is built on their Dungeons and Dragons
I mean, they have like cartoon series and everything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
75%, really?
Yeah, they were trying to get 75%. And what was it? It was an open market type deal to where like Pathfinder, it uses 3.5
Yeah.
rules because nobody really like a lot of the rules nowadays. They don't really like with the 5 and the 5.5 rules, the new editions.
Yeah.
But that's where they're coming from. They're like, oh, we're doing away with that, and we're gonna try to charge everybody like 75% of their actual gross of what they make from like doing podcasts and everything like that. If they use D&D, Hasbro's getting their money.
But at this point, and you look at a lot of these campaigns that are broadcast, like so many of them go to basically house rules.
Yeah.
So they may call it Dungeons and Dragons, but can you really call it that when you're basically making your own rules? It's a general framework.
Yeah.
But it's at this point, it's almost like Dungeons and Dragons is just it's as generic a name as Kleenex. You say Kleenex, but it's not always Kleenex brand. It's like it's like generic D&D basically.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of the rules, the rule books. I don't know if they do it anymore, but there's parts in the rule book that's like, hey, listen, this is just guidelines. Have fun.
Exactly. That's the whole point of it, is just you build your own world. This is a framework for world building.
Yeah.
And then you're going to turn around and try to take 75% because you're using our product. Is it your product anymore at this point?
Hey, even Gary Gygax said it. He was like, I made the rules, I did this, but it's part of the imagination and everything like that. Where you changed up the rules.
Yeah.
Unless
that goes completely against the spirit in which he created the entire thing. Like that's no.
I only had like one problem dealing with the people that made up the rules while we were playing, because I was playing Magic. I have a problem with it because I'm a pro player. Well, I was a pro player. We'll put the was in because I don't go to the tournaments anymore because that's fucking shit. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm a pro player, or I was pro player. I was on the pro circuit, and they were putting the creatures out and they're tapping them. I was like, why are you tapping that creature? Does it say tap the creatures? Like, no, that's how we do. We figure out that it's has summoning sickness. I was like, don't do that. Why? And I put one of my creatures down. I was like, listen, I'm going to do open hand right now. I have my creature out. It has haste. It's able to attack you. Boom. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to block it. No, you're not. It's tapped. They're like, well, that's that ruling. We're not going to. I was like, no. That's the reason why it comes into play. Unless something says it comes into play tap. There's actual spells that make your creature come into play tapped.
Right.
I was like, if you have a hard time figuring out if it just came out, which it's fucking hard because you just put it out into play. Granted.
Right.
And I was like,
just
put a like a little token or something like that on top of it.
Yeah.
Then remove the target.
Those are all rules that need to be agreed upon beforehand. Like you can't just go mid-match and start doing shit like that. Like that if you're gonna do house rules or street rules, whatever you want to do, like that has to be laid out and agreed upon by both. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Or it even start.
What was really sad is it was a friend of mine's kids, and he was like, "Why are you so adamant?" I was like, XYZ. I had to explain XYZ. He's like, oh, that makes actual sense. I was like, yes, it makes fucking sense. Don't look at me because you know me for like 20 years that I'm a fucking moron. You enjoy playing Magic. Me, it was part of my fucking money for a while. Literally, I made money playing Magic the Gathering.
Right.
Which is fucking difficult as it is. I mean, you get Twitchers and everything like that. But I made money winning tournaments. Oh, well, I was like, no. You be liberal on your own goddamn fucking time. You don't fuck with my game.
We're gonna do this. We don't do it right.
Yeah.
Come at me. You come at me proper.
And then they were like, how good are you? I was like, I was running the whole fucking table after the end. I was like, hey, listen, do this, do this, do this, and you do this, you have the option of this. What kind of cards do you blah, blah, blah. And they were like, how good are you? I was like, and he was trying to do his little, he's not that good. I was like, are we going to play this? I went to the store, picked up like 10-cent common deck, came back. It's like, this is 10-cent commons. Made it just 5 minutes ago. Beat them all. They were like, how did you? It's like, because I'm not fucking good.
Yeah, learn the rules.
And he was like, you're not. I was like, no. Did you win tournaments? No. Shut the fuck up. You weren't at the level I was. You only believe that you're at a level. But I love them. So, but anyways, going back to the subject of Pinkertons, after we wasted like 10 minutes.
We need a chaperone. I've said this before.
That's why Johnny needs to be here.
We need a chaperone.
Yes, this is the reason why Johnny needs to be here.
He's our taskmaster.
Yes. But here's the funny thing about this. We read the article. I was and
David was coming in hot to this thing.
I was coming in hot and then because I read. That's one thing about news articles nowadays. You can literally be right but be wrong at the same time frame. Right. Because the article that you read, because you had to read like 4 of them.
Yeah.
There is one news group. I think it's Angry Cops that sent me he put it in his link for the last episode that he did. I'm gonna start using that. I'm going to put in a subscription.
Richard does really good about multiple sources. I trust him whenever I watch one of his videos because I know that he's gone through several different sources and gone through and gotten the good stuff out.
Yeah, Nick Palmachano is the same other person I really trust on the news because he doesn't biased. I'm pissed off that he stopped doing that in episodes, but people go through life. But the heavy thing, I was pissed off that Pinkertons came out and had to still. I was going off of the bat that they came in and they took back what they got. They sold these people because they didn't want it to be out. No, what had happened?
Yeah, right. So David, when we were doing show prep for this, he's like, yeah, man, they like stormed in and came in and took the stuff. And then I read through the article and I was like, dude, like they contacted him twice before they even called anybody out. It had everything gathered up and like he knew somebody was coming. He didn't know it was Pinkerton specifically, but I was like, the guy knew somebody was coming to pick all the stuff up. He's like, I got a knock on the door and I was surprised to see the Pinkertons there, and then they came in and did their thing, and it was a lot different than what it was, and that's why you got to read the whole article because you get the juicy stuff and the attention grab is at the top of the article, and then you get down towards the bottom, and it's like, oh well, this is what really happened, but it's not as interesting as the top of the full stuff, so we're just gonna go and bury it in them.
I'll admit that my retard brain can't get past a couple of pages.
I said
paragraphs. I have to say paragraphs, maybe sentences sometimes.
See, you almost have to start reading from the bottom. Like read the bottom paragraphs. That's where you get the real good stuff, and then you go back and kind of compare it to the top, and it's like, yeah, man, you just contradicted everything you just said at the top of the paragraph. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we verified that Dave,
but it is. I mean, I find it absolutely freaking hilarious that they picked the Pinkertons of all of all places, of all people that you're gonna hire to go pick this stuff up. It's why would the Pinkertons be the top of that list?
Well, most corporations still use this Pinkertons to do that type of service, but you're right. They have to have like new organizations, and Pinkertons aren't fucking cheap either.
Oh no. I said asset protection agencies are a dime a dozen now. They are everywhere, and there's some really good ones that
it's
have
not
a
like there
good
was
reputation. Like, why would you pick one with that reputation? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
That's what's weird to me, is that you would think Pinkertons, I'm sure they're fine. We don't need to fact check any of that.
Yeah.
Quick Google search? Nah, you don't need to do that. Just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you don't rely solely on name recognition. Same thing for voting too.
Do you honestly think it was okay when you're dealing with Hasbro?
Dude, I just thought of something.
Dude, it was probably some guy that was playing Red Dead.
I literally was just gonna say
at the same time. It was like, hey, I heard these guys.
He's like high as a kite. They're like,
is that stuff real? It is real. Oh, dude, it's really real. Let's send them the Pinkertons.
You think the Pinkertons are still around, dude? And some executive that has no clue, has never played a game before ever, is like, yeah, they're a corporate. Yeah, we should absolutely do that.
Which is
kind of like corporate name. They've been around for how long? Oh, they know what they're doing.
Of course, here's the funny thing about doing that, though. I mean, nowadays, and we'll go off. Well, we always go off subject, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right now, I mean, corporations aren't in the. They're getting their ass spanked. I mean, we go from what started this off was Bud Light, but we didn't know anything about the Miller Lite problem, where in the whole commercial that I seen is this lady that's fully dressed. There's no cleavage being shown or anything, and this is all for Women's Day. And she goes out, it's like, hey, if you have any of the Miller Lite advertisement with women in bikinis, we want that back. We will take it and we will put it into a grinder and we will fertilizer so we can get our hops back and going. Women had invented the beer. I'm like, no, it was actually just the Egyptians. And yeah, they figured out fermentation. And I seriously don't think, and the picture they put in there was literally like something from probably around about 11,000 CE.
And I mean, it is true that in a lot of places, especially in ancient Egypt, that women did run like the beer houses, ale houses, whatever you want to call it.
They ran them. They didn't make the beer though.
Yeah.
But
you left out the best part. The whole campaign is send us the bad shit so that we could turn it into good shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was actually part of the
literally is their fucking tagline.
Yeah, that was their tagline.
Bad shit. We'll give you good shit. It's like, it's Miller Lite. It's all shit.
And I have to use my brother-in-law's trope as we do the next one. The Ford company doing a rapid commercial.
Yes.
Oh, both the vehicles.
That hurt me on a physical level though, because I
sent you the Ford one. I didn't send you the Amory King one. Because someone
I saw it. I did see that.
Oh yeah, you were the one that sent that to me. And God, I love Amory King. Amory King, if you're ever watching this or anything, I'm gonna tag you on this one because this is fucking yes. But if you want to come on the show, more than happy, just message me. You still have our Angry Me production shirt, fuck socialism shirt. But what the whole premise of this Ford commercial is Pride Month, because next month is gonna be Pride Month, which is whatever. they have both. They have these Ford Raptors that going in. They're all muddied up, and then they clean them. After they clean them, one's like a weird color, and the other one is a pride flag wrap, like the heavy pride flag, where it's like 15 different colors.
Oh yeah, super sparkles, sunshine sparkles.
It's so sparkling,
really bad.
but. What's funny? What's funny at this? I sent this because my brother-in-law owns a Ford, but he owns a Super Duty, and he can't. My brother-in-law, I have to get him on here because he is far-fetched the most wittiest man I have ever met. And he says, so far, there haven't been any Super Duty commercials with gay cowboys eating pudding, laying on barbed wire fences.
They're coming.
They probably are coming. But yeah, I mean, nobody looks at my problem is this. This is the only problem I have. It isn't against the alphabet group unless they're like FBI, ATF, and the CIA. Everybody can agree on that one. Now, saying that, it's more or less, it's being forced into us. It's like, you have to like this. It's like, no, I don't have to like this. I mean, I watched Birdcage. I liked that. That was a pretty good movie. And that was about gays and transgender. But
it was more cross-dressing than transgender.
Yeah, what? No, they actually say that was part of their culture now. Transgender. It was. So I'm not getting into the confusion of all this bullshit.
Exactly.
But I don't really care. I mean, I have gay friends. I've had gay people on the show. I've talked to gay people, and these gay people that have on the show, they literally say the same thing. And they came on the show to like, I was like, hey, we're not these assholes.
Right.
And there's a lot of gay people coming out, not coming out of the closet, but coming out on like different
speaking against it. Yeah.
They're literally going against it.
My life is not a movement. That's one thing I hear a lot from gay people that are tired of having that. It's like, they're like, it just, don't, I'm not reduced to a movement or a, flag. Like that's way too much.
And what a lot of them are going up against is I was like, I follow this one group called Gays Against Groomers.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, every time he speaks, I mean, he was on PB, what the fuck's that one podcast I listen to? It's PBD. Matt Best was on that, and that's the only reason why I started following. It's because I'll listen to that podcast, and I started listening more. But the head person of Gays Against Groomers went on that podcast, and he explained everything, reason why he's doing what he's doing. He's even saying that the books that are being people are upset about. And he's like, yeah, kids shouldn't read that stuff at that age.
Yeah.
And he even goes, is like,
moment in your life that makes you more happy. You don't have to take this out.
My bad. I need to get the Bluetooth off of here. There we go. My bad.
Fucking amateur hour in here.
You know what's sad? The big podcasts do the same thing. So so many times I watch like Joe Rogan and everything, and they're like, fucking shit off. What the fuck?
Yep.
I get paid
like ads, man.
I got paid $100 million to be on this app, and you're just fucking it all up. But it happens even in national TV and everything. They're like, oh, that's the wrong video. We're live. You do realize this.
That's why there's a delay.
Yeah. But they even like the Miss Universe contest and Holly Holmes just recently, I feel that I don't know if they're trying to like switch the agenda and everything to where it's like, oh, now we're able to come out and not be like censored. This is the reason why we're doing this. I mean, like people had this problem for the longest time and they just got canceled. But people are seeing that this trend is not going away because there's a lot of people that are upset. I mean, Bud Light's basically, I'm not saying they're going under because there's a lot of people their commercial doesn't hit fully to the world. That commercial is just for the United States.
There's I mean, you're still a several $billion company. Like
they're hurting, but they're not hurting bad. But what's even funnier is Chicago, and this is the only place that I've heard of, is like there's gay bars in Chicago. They're like, we're not doing Bud Light because they just they just pancake to the straight people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
as I said, when you try to please everybody, then everybody gets pissed off at you, and you get it from all sides.
Yeah.
Honestly, they probably would have been better if they would have just doubled down on it. If that's the direction you want to go, so be it.
Yeah.
Double down on it.
And see what happens.
The moment you try to backpedal on it, it's just blood in the water, man. Blood in the water. You get attacked from every side.
Yeah. But here's a funny thing. And this is just my opinion on this whole thing. The person they got to do this ad, I just want to know who his agent is, if he has an agent or manager, because that guy can pull some shit off. Like he got him fucking advertisement for tampons. I'm fucking amazed. I love
the Nike women's clothing line.
I'm all for like a good con. And yes, this is a fucking con.
Mm-hmm.
You can bash me all you want in the comments or anywhere that you want to. I don't give a fuck. But this is like the best con. I'm like, he literally conned tampons. How the fuck do you con tampons? Men don't use fucking tampons. And yes, he's a man.
Yep.
I'll fucking call it out. I don't give a shit. He's a man. I mean, men use tampons too, but we use it in like battlefields and everything like that. Someone gets shot. They literally told us, it's like, hey, put a couple of tampons in your kit just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know. That's just extra stuff. They also told us super glue, and I found out about the super glue. I had a guy that had a it wasn't a full hit. It fucked it. It was what's really fucked up is he got hit in the leg, but it was kind of what do you call it? A graze.
Mm-hmm.
But that graze hit a fucking nerve cluster.
Oh shit.
He walked with a limp. No, but we couldn't figure out. We couldn't figure. I was like, dude, you're walking with a limp. I was like, well, it hurts. And then after a while, they figured out it was just a nerve cluster, and they had to do surgery on the nerve cluster. But anyways, but he had like a good curving in, and I super glued it shut.
Mm-hmm.
So
hell yeah, super glue is great. Yeah, you keep super glue. Although they do say that tampons may not necessarily be the best choice, but I would 100% carry pads.
Yeah,
pads, super glue. Mm-hmm. Never know.
Yeah, I mean, I carry some in my car all the fucking time. People are like, "You can't. Why would you do that?" I'm like, and then I explain it, and they're like, "Really?" It's like, yeah, it's an absorbent. The gel stuff inside the tampon, it's an absorbent. Very hot. It's like carrying around diapers.
Yeah,
diapers the same thing. That stuff. And you want to keep it all in. You don't want to like pull the stuff out and show it.
No.
What is it, an absorbent and an expansion? I think they would call it. But anyways, but Miss Universe, they had the questions like, should transgender women be part of sports? And she was like, no. I mean, she had an eloquent answer, but when it came around to it, she's like, no, men shouldn't be in competition with women.
Honestly, the biggest problem I have with Miss Universe pageant,
You're not in.
no, they don't invite any other planets. That's bullshit.
It is kind of bullshit.
That's like the NFL calling themselves world champions and no other country is even in the running. That's horseshit.
True. That is true. Well,
That's pretty arrogant.
that is
Well, nothing. Well, fucking nothing.
okay. You got me.
Bullshit. You know it is.
You got me, you son of a bitch.
Does the Canadian Football League come down and play them for the Super Bowl? Fuck no, they don't.
I'm trying to think if there's a Canadian.
See, at least when you play the baseball and hockey, they call themselves world champions. At least there's another country involved. It may only be one other country, but
There's another country. There's another country in baseball, dude. Canada.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So at least when you're calling yourself a world champion there, at least there was between two different or possibly between two different countries. Another country was in the running. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. All right. Is your blood pressure getting
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not telling you you're wrong.
My blood pressure is fine.
Are you sure?
I'm just calling bullshit on the entire thing. The whole fucking system. The whole system, man. Right to the top.
If you pass out on the show because of the way that you're getting angry and everything, I'm gonna laugh my ass off first.
I am not angry.
Then I'm gonna call an ambulance for you.
I am not angry.
Like that would be fucking hilarious. You go screaming and everything, and the next thing you know on camera, you're like,
you just fall over into the wall. Dude, can you imagine the views we'd get out of that though?
Oh, dude, I would have to clip that motherfucker.
We'd go viral overnight.
No, we wouldn't, but it would be
sacrifices that I do for this show. You're fucking welcome.
Oh God. Oh God. I would, one of these days. Oh, dude. Yeah, we're still in May. So next episode, Nerd Sports, need to have you like go like angry and everything and just do that. Fucking Johnny would flip his fucking lid.
And he wouldn't see it coming because he doesn't listen to these.
I know. He listens to Nerd Sports because that's what he's usually on.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be dude, we'll plan that. We'll plan that.
See, I feel like that would be better for like an April Fool's episode of Nerd.
We already did that. No, fuck that. We'll just do that way. Because we're never gonna remember. I mean, next week when we get on
next week, are you kidding me?
We're probably never gonna next week. I'm gonna have to text you. It's like, do the thing. What fuck thing are you talking about? Pass out thing. Oh, okay. Talk about something so I can get angry. Okay. that's what's fucking gonna come around to. That's what's that sad. That's how well we know each other. We know we're gonna fuck it up.
I feel it's presumptuous of you to assume that you're going to even remember that much.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna have to like put it on like an appointment or some shit.
Well, just during the show, you'll get a pop up. Your alarm will go off.
Like, well, I got something make Chris mad.
Why do I want to make Chris mad?
Make Chris mad so he passes out. Why do I? Oh yeah. That's how Johnny's gonna talk out. That's how
your dumbass will say it out loud while you're reading it, and then Johnny will hear it, and then it just ruins the whole thing.
Yeah. That's how bad we are. God.
That's part of the charm.
I know it is. Okay.
Fuck with Johnny's head while we're on the show. Fuck! Damn.
Okay. Let me get this angled out. Now, another news we're gonna touch on, and we'll touch on the last thing. But let me see here. Yeah, this is what special prosecutors in Trump's Russian investigation saying FBI acted hostile. Anyways, we are finding out that the Russian inclusion with Trump and Russia was, dare I say it, false.
Completely made up by a political opponent during a presidential race.
Oh, yeah, it's so weird. I don't know how that happened. That
That
doesn't happen like all the time. This is a very, very rare occasion.
It only happens every 4 years.
It never happens every fucking day. Every hour.
I'm saying during a presidential election, it only happens every 4 years.
I'm trying to think of the timeline because it's probably a little bit more often than we.
Maybe. How often do we vote for president?
No, you're right on that. But it's been a constant for Biden to talk ill about Trump because that's the only thing that he can do. And right now,
Only thought he can hold in his head.
God, yeah. Orange Man bad. That's why we're gonna go for. Oh, Orange Man bad. I'm gonna take a nap now. That took a lot on me. Yeah, I did it. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, we're still doing the past conference, aren't we? Yeah. And you can't even get him to do a complete sentence to where he's not mumbling. And if you actually look at his press conference from like years ago to now, he was actually coherent when he was younger. Of course, we always had that.
Yeah, but the reason he was coherent is because he kept plagiarizing other people's words.
This is true.
You get him to talk by himself and he's screwed.
Yeah. But what had happened, what we found out what had happened was the FBI and the CIA investigated Donald Trump for Russian inclusion, and they didn't find anything. And they told President Obama about this, but because they wanted Hillary in the office of the presidency, they made it up. Weird, just weird. But he ended up becoming president for years, and then the China virus happened, and then watch, I'm gonna have like Chinese secret police knock on my door. You're not to say that. I don't know why they sound
Hired by the Pinkertons.
Yeah, hired by the Pinkertons. Fucking everybody's playing Red Dead Redemption 2 now.
You open the door, cowboy.
So
I know.
I will pay big money to have a Pinkerton with the fucking rice hat that they have on.
Oh my god.
We are
Make a mod.
that work for Pinkertons.
I don't even know how we got there.
I don't know either. This is how my
It would
mind
only be funny to us. We'd be the only ones that even got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we were like, why is this funny? Why are they laughing at? Oh, you gotta watch our podcast. It's probably canceled by now, but you gotta watch it. We'll send you the video. We have to send you the video. You have to give us your numbers, and we'll send you a video. Is this a scam? Most possibly, but hear me out.
Probably. Just wait.
Dude, it's hilarious. You just don't see it. God, what's really funny?
Dead straight face, just look at it, just like, you are the dumbest fucking people alive.
Hold on. I got it.
What you just said The most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
that's
That last line is just the most perfect way to bring it all together. Just
yeah.
may mercy on your soul.
I'm surprised that when I went to y'all's headquarters that that everybody was like laughing at the jokes. And it's like, oh shit, that they get us. What the fuck?
Yep.
Of course, I did freak out those ladies, and they were like the designers for the website. After they were like, they were. What was funny is they were talking about getting dating apps, and most of the time getting sent dick pics.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. Me and my coworkers, we already talked about this. We figured out a solution. Two guys figured out to help out women. They're like, oh, whoa. I was like, no. Hear me out. What you do, and this is for all ladies that are listening.
Mhm.
What you do if you get sent like a couple of dick pics, what you do is you send him a message saying, hey, quit sending me child porn. So quit sending me child porn. I've already reported you to the police. And that's
That's a good one. That's a good one. But sending the one dick to the other guy and just sending their penises but to other people.
Fucking hell.
I think that's funny too.
What was that? I'm sorry. I had to click out of something because Johnny messages on Facebook and I saw my Facebook up. And that was a fucked up photo. That really was a fucked up video. Did you see that?
I don't even. I'll watch it later. I don't want to. That's.
No, because okay, Johnny is not feeling. There's a reason why he's not on the show. He sent us this disabled girl who inspired us to never give up. The comments that he said afterwards, what's got me, because it's just a woman that she doesn't have any arms and she's trying to get fit, so she went to a gym, which is noble of her. I almost had this hands off to you to doing that. She has no hands. My God, fuck my life.
Hats off.
Hats off.
Still need hats to. You still need hands to take that off. But
yeah. Anyways, all he messes it up and he's like, all I could think was how does she fold towels and smell feet? Ha ha ha. I'm waiting for the bus to hell right now.
I think that Johnny might be a little medicated right now.
I think he is too. Because that is no, I know I already used the button. I'm not using it again because that's like almost a minute off of our show. 30 seconds off of our show. Damn, John. Him high. He should have, if he was that fucked up, he should have just been on the show.
That would have been fantastic.
We were trying to do that last time, and he's like, "Nah, dude, I'm just gonna be in pain and doing this." I'm like, "Dude, you didn't.
It was.
You had an assignment, and you decided just to throw the paper and hand it to a dog, and have it rip it up." And
He went to the Cliff Notes and just copy pasted. That's what he did. That's what he did. Completely phoned it in.
He literally had an AI write up the exam. Yeah,
chat GPT. That's what he did.
Which this is what a lot of people are calling it AI. It's, in my opinion, I don't think it's AI.
It's just predictive text on steroids.
Yeah, that's what they're considering AI. And AI is not that. I mean, it's pre-programmed. It's like you have cog A and cog B. Once you input it, once you put input what the scenario is going to be, it either goes to cog A or it goes to cog B. It's is it a it is a fantastic program. I'll give you that. It's interesting.
Mhm.
But here's the thing about it. It's not AI.
Mm-mm.
It's predictive algorithm. That's all it is.
Exactly.
People are like freaking out. It's like it's AI. It's AI. We're all going down. Skynet. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. It's not that smart yet. Because we don't.
They call it AI because that's all the small brains can think of.
Yeah, that
It's just dumbing it down for people who don't know any better.
yeah, and I get that. I tried to talk to a person that thinks they're intelligent, and they're like, "No, it's AI." I was like, "No,
Not AI.
not." Just to have AI. I mean, an actual. And Jack Carr goes over this a little bit in his books, and a lot of other books they can do. And this is just the most recent thing I've read. In the Blood. Check it out. Jack Carr came out May 14th, May 16th. It's already out. Audio. Ray Porter does the audio of it and everything. Yeah, this is a small plug that I'm probably never going to make Jack Carr. So, yay. But don't do that. Don't give me hope.
You never know.
Don't give me hope. But, anyways, it's a good book. Loved it. I won't spoil it for everybody because it just came out. But you have to have like almost a supercomputer to process that. Now there's different ways that you can create a quantum computer or something to the equivalent. One is using biological components. For a while there, I think 2010, 2025, we're supposed to have this hard drive. It's a DNA. I'm going to use the wrong words. I know I'm going to use the wrong, but
DNA-based.
yeah, it's a DNA based hard drive.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you don't understand, DNA can hold like 7 generations of data. And this is coming from like memory. It's the reason why we don't like, the scratchy noise coming from chalkboard. The reason why that is, it's the scraping of claws coming off of rocks. It's the reason why we're afraid of that. There's a reason why we're afraid of the dark. We're afraid of the dark because of cats, because that's when they come out. They're nocturnal. A lot of nocturnal owls. There's the reason why we're afraid of the dark. These are actual fears that we're supposed to be afraid of. Now, the degree of fear that you have is depending on the severity and how young the thought is. I mean, if you're afraid of water, you've always been afraid of water. You never had anything happen to you in water, but one of your ancestors had. So that's the reason why you're afraid of water or heights. One of your ancestors might have fell from a height and survived, and that DNA is pushed onto you. And it'd be kind of funny if that you fell off a rock, you got kind of skittish, and now your next of kin is like severely scared of fucking falling only because you accidentally tripped. Now that's hilarious.
That is kind of funny.
That is kind of funny.
Like that's what you get for trying to take that selfie.
Mm-hmm. But last thing we're going to talk about of all this stuff. Fucking hell. I can't believe I did that. I was trying to get the last one and accidentally canceled out the thing I was looking at. It's coming.
Instant source of disappointment to your mother and I.
Fucking, you're not wrong. Now, Daniel Penny is neither vigilante nor murderer in the Jordan Neely death. And this is coming from the New York Post. I think the New York Post is kind of like right wing, or they actually tell the news is kind of weird.
It's not far left. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. And this is going, what, 2 weeks ago that this has originally happened, I believe.
Thereabouts.
Yeah. Like I said, we're late on the stuff, but we run through the stuff anyways. A former Marine who risked his own life to protect others, more vulnerable passengers from threat from a mentally unstable man. With a criminal record for violently assaulting, including several on the subway, has been liable a vigilante and murderer. He is neither. Benny was certainly no vigilante, which the Marine Manoram Webster diction Manoram. Why isn't nobody using Oxford diction? Defines as a member or of a volunteer committee organized to suppress or punish crime. Summarily. Yeah. Since he's not a member of an organized group and certainly not involved in any vigilante organization which goes looking for alleged criminals. Indeed, the former Marine did not seek out trouble like the protagonist of the movie Death Wish, who deliberately rode the subway with a gun, hoping that the situation in which he could use it. God, that's old. How old is this person that's actually writing this article? There's been a couple of fucking vigilante types. I mean, they did remake Death Wish. They had Bruce Willis in it. So, okay, I'll give you that. That's the movie that you actually went to. But the original Death Wish was what, 70s? Early 80s?
Yeah, something like that. With Charles Bronson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be late 70s.
Yeah, now I'm curious. Yes, this is how the show ends up. But nor did he punish Jordan Neely once he began to threaten the others, more vulnerable passengers, but rather only to hold him back until the lawful authorities could have arrived. And contrary to the definition of vigilante, Penny was certainly not seeking to take the law into his own hands. Since the law of New York, like the law of virtually all states, seek to encourage citizens to go to the defense of others less capable of protecting themselves. The law permits to use reasonable force not only against persistent acts of death or serious injury, but rather against any perceived threat of any use of unlawful physical force. The latter terms includes virtually any wrongful touching, including a mere groping, sexual or otherwise, and touching of the clothing and possessions such as the purse or other passengers removing of something from the third party's pockets. So I'm not going to read the whole article because I think we're liable if we read the whole article. There's a certain percentage. Now, you cannot find the video that I found. The video I found was the actual Jordan Neely, assaulting everybody and him going crazy. You cannot find that video anymore, which pisses me off. It was taken down. But there was literally and this went far too long. He could have done this far quicker, in my opinion. That's only in my opinion. He could have, but I don't know. The video that I caught, the time frame, I didn't see Penny in any of the shots beforehand, so maybe he just got onto the subway at that point in time. But saying that, Neely was accosting people, causing a ruckus. That's not going to be put into place. But what got me was this one video that I found literally showed Neely grabbing a woman's hair, pulling her down onto the seat, and it basically looked like he was using her as a puppet. But he was screaming out, "You sit next to me. You sit next to me right now. this is where your spot is. I mean, that, in my opinion, gets you a fucking punch in the face. Gets
Exactly.
you choked out. Gets
That's
you to the point.
literally the definition of kidnapping.
Yes. As soon as you hold something or a person.
You're restricting the
Arm.
free movement of that person.
Yes. So basically, he prevented kidnapping. We're going with that. But, and I'm not fully sure because the articles of different associations, because nowadays the news is spread out and they only give you like nidbits of information each and every time. But from what I understand, and I could be absolutely wrong, totally admit that right now. I'm probably telling you something wrong. So do research too. And then message me tell me if I'm right or not.
Right.
This is how we do our show. You tell us if we're right. We should just call the show, "Are we right?" And just question mark.
What
the hell is huh?
Said what we fuck up this time?
Yeah. What do you call it that? But he didn't die in Penny's arms, Daniel Penny's arms. He literally died in the hospital, from what I understand.
I would be very interested in seeing what his toxicology report looks like.
Oh, he was drugged up.
Mm-hmm.
That for a fact I know. He was drugged up.
Exactly.
Now another thing, and I'm sorry that he lost his life, but
Right. Understand that none of what we're saying here meant that do you think that he deserved to die? That's not the
sir,
point we're trying to make.
This guy was mentally disturbed and he needed help. And no one, and it pisses me off that there are small amounts of help that these people can go through. I shouldn't say these people, but the people that are mentally handicapped, they need help. They need to get them off the streets and not in an asylum. And I know it bogs people down, bogs cities down and everything, but there's people out there that are so mentally unstable. And I've talked about this with other people. I think that it's more or less a survival instinct that, certain things are more or less all right out in the woods and everything, and it helps you survive. Paranoia. I mean, you can go to paranoia. It happens, but the guy needed help, and
like there are people that need to be taken away and separated from society for not just the safety of the public in general, but for their own safety too.
Yeah, exactly.
Situations exactly like this.
And now, because he wasn't able to get the help that he needed, one, he was a career criminal. I'm not going away from that. He was a career criminal. Yes, he fucked up a lot. And I worked corrections. I know that some of them just needed to stay in prison, but they also need the help that they as a society need to give them. Like if a person's like super, super crazy, yes, he needs to be brought away, giving, what he needs to get to help him out. Because there's, and in this thing right now, in my opinion, there's, in situations like this, whenever someone goes crazy and someone has to stop them, there's always going to be two big. This could be like law enforcement. This could be like EMTs, fire department, whatever, that had to save the life and they couldn't. There's a lot of victims because no one was willing to help this person's mentally ill problem.
See, look at it from the other way too. Like if nobody had stepped in and this guy had continued on and ended up hurting or, God forbid, killing this woman that he was accosting at the time, everybody would have been saying, "Why didn't anybody do anything? Why
Yeah.
didn't anybody step in?" And then when somebody steps in, it's, "Oh, you did it wrong. Why did you do it that way?"
Yeah.
It's like, you literally cannot win.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, think about Daniel Penny. I don't know what he's thinking right now. Nobody's actually done
It's awful.
interviews. He probably feels awful that he had to murder somebody. I mean, of course, he might.
I wouldn't frame it that way. I would say he probably feels awful that the guy died, because sure, and again, I don't want to speak
Okay,
for him,
yeah.
but I'm sure that wasn't his intent.
Yeah, exactly. He was probably in his mind, he was like, "Ooh, I have to protect these people."
Right.
Air hug. Oh, got the neck. My bad. But the real victims is Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely. One, Penny had a, he went out, he became a hero. In my opinion, he is a hero. He did his due diligence. But no one helped Neely better his life. And here's the thing that pisses me off all the fucking time. Every time this situation's like this, and I do this constantly. And I have people. It's like you're the type of person that can talk about anybody. It's like, yeah, I like to hear the stories, and sometimes just people need help. I mean, our recent little, no, not our recent get together. It was during that charity event that me and you went to. Well, there's a guy that just talked to me. He's like, "I've been having hard times and everything like that." I was like, "Hey, get it out, buddy. I'm not gonna give you any money because I'm poor broke right now.
Right.
But I'll hear your story out." I heard his story out, and he had hard time, but he was a criminal, and he's like, I was like, well, you can probably, because he was like washing windows. He's like, well, I'm washing windows, just trying. I was like, listen, there are places out there. Go to construction, do there's hard labors that I'll let you know right now. Pay cash.
Yep.
And you don't have to. Not saying. Not
There isn't exactly a rigorous application progress or application process, I should say.
Yeah, there's places where you don't have to worry about the application progress. You just show up, and it's like, well, I'll give you a chance.
Yep.
And
Well, to work. What you work?
yeah, but that's some. I'll let you know right now. That's some fucking hard ass fucking labor. They don't joke around with that shit. But
No, but while you're doing that, you're not doing dumb shit on the
your
subway.
You're
Coked out of your freaking mind.
Yeah. So, but that's the end of that. All the new stuff, anyways. You want to talk about Picard?
That was a great season, man.
That was, I told you.
You need to explain to me though what you found. No, because you said that it was hard to follow. What was hard to follow about that?
Okay, here's the thing that was hard to follow, and because the last season,
Spoiler alert, by the way.
yeah, spoiler alert. The last season with the Borg, and then you came in on the third season.
Different factions of Borg.
It wasn't different faction of Borg, different timeline.
Which is true.
No, it's not. It's not a different. And the way they explain, okay, the way they explained it,
it's true. But they actually said that there are Borg that weren't connected to. The hell is their name?
to her.
Right. There were Borg that were still out there that weren't connected. They knew somewhere in the galaxy.
Yeah,
there were still Borg around.
but here's the thing that's confusing. Even on season 2, there's like all the Borg Queen wind. The Borg Queen literally said, it's like the Borg are connected throughout different timelines,
Mhm.
and that they're all connected. They can all feel each other. And then they totally said that. That's where I'm like confused.
It's because they could feel each other doesn't mean she can control them.
Well, that's true. Okay.
That's why she knew they were coming.
That's what confused me.
Yeah, there's a difference between being able to sense them and not being able to control them.
Yeah, I think that's where I got confused. So
Yeah, she totally could sense. I mean, that was the whole reason that she did what she did. Yeah, Abigail? Fuck is her name?
Abigail's in her name. Yeah. Abigail's the name of the new Borg Queen in season 2. That's part of the Federation. That see, that whole thing just confused the fuck out of me because wouldn't Abigail be able to sense what's going on and everything like that and report it?
Not necessarily, because they were actually
Yeah.
changing. Yeah, because when you were introducing DNA, so it changed the signal. I mean, look how easy it was to be able to bring them back from their what's the word? Assimilation.
Yeah.
Like every single time somebody has been brought back from assimilation, look at 7 of 9. Look at even
Yeah, there was parts that they
Wow.
still had because it's mechanical.
here
but
it was wiped out because it wasn't they were assimilated, but they weren't assimilated. It was more of a biological assimilation than it actually was a full Borg assimilation.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different.
But that ending,
Same, but different.
yeah. But that ending was that was fucking
It was fantastic, dude. And I loved having, and I knew it was going to happen. It was very obvious what was going to happen with the whole data lore, all that. I knew that we are going to do it that way. It was still cool to see it.
Yeah.
Having a data with actual personality, fucking fantastic. I loved it.
I still like a lot of the videos they're using AC/DC music.
Yeah.
That whole spinning around and everything to get to the center of the core.
Yeah.
What got me is they get to the core, it's like, hold on, we gotta stop. We're pressed for time. We didn't get this. We didn't think we could get it this far. So we're pressed for time. They still gotta do their thing. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, really?
Yep. Dramatic effect.
Dramatic effect. I hate that dramatic effect because it fucks everything. It fucks because you're like at a point. But dude, one last thing before we head off, because you got to do laundry and whatnot. But yeah, we're people too. We do our own shit.
Ain't nobody else here to do it for me. So
Yeah. You don't have a maid service? I got a maid service.
no, I'm the poor. I
No.
can't do that.
Extraction 2 new trailer dropped.
Dude, it looks freaking amazing.
Fuck yeah, it does. Can't wait for that one. Was it June 16th?
Something like that.
Yeah. But that's about it. We finished this off pretty good. Well, everybody, I'm David Dickerman.
I am Chris Deca.
Thank you all for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Have fun out there and see you in 2 weeks for the What the Hell episode. Love you.
Bye-bye.